Puna, man, when he lets those hands go, he is dangerous.
I didn't know what I was expecting. I was just trying to put my paws on his face, and luckily it landed.
Punahele! Puna Soriano!
Dariush bites off the challenge and excels as usual, looking like 8 in a row.
I don't care if I have to win another 10 fights before I get this belt. I'll do it.
Beneil Dariush!
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered.
Please tell me that's on video. I've never been happier.
I'm made for a fucking podcast. We're dangerous. Listen to me, we're at it. Let's get this party going. We got to talk about a lot of shit.
We certainly do. And we're off. First show back after Thanksgiving. Punahele Soriano, who's opening fight against Dustin Stoltzfus on the card this Saturday. He's the opening fight. What a card this is, Matt, coming up. Beneil Dariush is our second guest against Arman Tsarukyan. What a great it's like a pay-per-view card almost.
Oh no, it's a fantastic card. We're going to talk about the card in detail. But hey, we got to talk to Puna in a second because he's in the waiting room. Puna, he's coming off a loss, a KO loss, but before that, he got a knockout.
Yeah.
He doesn't have his back against the wall. Listen, nobody wants to lose or even lose 2 in a row. But Dustin Stoltzfus, I hope I pronounced that right.
Yeah. He's lost 4 or 5.
He lost. He's 1-4 in his last 5, so he's definitely a little bit more desperate. And I want to hear what Puna thinks about that.
Yeah, he's lost to some good opponents. He's not losing to bad fighters, but still, when you're what is it like? But then again, Punahele has lost 3 out of 4. So again, both of these guys are probably, hey, look, I want to make sure that I'm secure in the UFC for a while. So that's got to weigh on you a little bit.
I've lost before in my career. I've definitely dropped 2 in a row, but you bounce back, you know what I mean? But it definitely, every loss adds a little bit more pressure. You got some real mental, it could be a real mental F. So you have to really try to, I started remembering why I got into the business in the first place. I enjoy fighting, and I boiled it down to that. It's like you, Jimmy. Let's say you bombed a couple of shows in a row, you might start to question yourself, or you start just accepting that you're a shitty comedian.
I would say that's more the outcome, as I just realized. Let's bring in Punahele.
Yes, and you're a fantastic comedian, Jimmy. I'm joking.
Oh, stop it! Thank you.
That's jokes right there.
Yeah. There he is.
Yes,
how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it's good. Who was it that you fought? It was coming off a knockout, and you made me laugh because you in the post fight, you're like, "Yeah, I was just really glad it landed. He's a scary dude." Who are you talking about?
Shoot, it could have been Dalsha. Dalsha was scary. Could have been
your last knockout.
Oh yeah, Dalsha.
Yeah, it was
Dalsha
funny.
Was super. He's still scary.
Yeah, but I like hearing fighters talk honestly about that. Like I love to hear when guys talk about being nervous or scared or just, hey, that guy's a scary guy, because it makes the rest of us feel human. Like, yeah, all right, I'm not crazy to think that.
No, for sure. It's funny. I feel like the fights I'm not scared is the fights I don't do good.
Really?
Right? That's
kind of, yeah.
Now, Puna, how are you the night before, and how are you in the locker room before? How's the nerves?
In my head, I feel like I'm pretty nervous. But it's weird. As soon as on the way to the venue, I'm super nervous. But as soon as I get there, I weirdly, I take a nap, right when I get there. And as soon as I wake up from that nap, I have no emotions. I just ready to go.
Wow, you're able. I'm fascinated because I'm a bad sleeper and I don't fight. So I don't know how guys fall asleep right before a fight, but you could. How long do you take a nap for? A half hour?
Maybe at most, yeah, half hour to 45 minutes.
Yeah, and it's like a broken sleep, right? You're in the locker room.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hear somebody cracking pads, you open up an eye or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
and So, I mean, I've seen guys in the locker room throwing up before they go out. I've seen other guys, they have to wake them up to get the warm up. So it is funny how different, and they're all tough guys. It's funny how
Totally.
they act differently. It's one of those things where, I mean, I'll equate it to not a lot of guys probably done this, but I did it on the Dana White show. Riding a bull when I jumped on a bull, it's not going to end without getting touched, without something. It's not going to just end smoothly. Usually, like you know what I mean?
Totally.
And it could be the best night of your nightlife or the worst night. It's right. I mean, Puna, shit, man, your last 2 fights. One night is phenomenal, and the other
totally.
Night, right?
Yeah, 100%. That's the game. It's like you said, either the best feeling or the worst feeling. It really is.
You said when you're not nervous, that's when you haven't fought as well. Have you, when you go out and you're not feeling any nerves at all, are you aware like, oh, I'm not feeling anything, or is it in hindsight that you recognize it?
I think it's more of like a in camp thing. Like maybe I don't feel the danger like going through the camp. Maybe I like just thought they weren't too dangerous, or maybe they're more of a certain look that I don't think poses a threat to me. But now I just assume everyone's the scariest guy in the world.
Yeah, I imagine.
Oh, go ahead,
no, you go, Matt. Go ahead, buddy.
No, I was going to ask him. You had Extreme Couture. How long you been there for? And I know you're buddies with Dan Ige. Were you there because of him? How long you been over there?
Yeah, I've been there about maybe 6-7 years now. Dan went there, and I went 1 year after him. Just tagged along.
And now, and it just fit you. The place fit you. The coaches and.
Yeah, I mean, never in my athletic career have I ever been to a place where I was like, I'm just gonna switch teams. Like I feel like in errors or like things where I do wrong, I take the responsibility on me, and I feel like that's the only way I can get better.
So you're saying you like to stick with a place for as long as possible?
Yeah. I mean, if it was like drastic and I really needed to change, I'm sure I would. But I love Extreme. I love the people there, the team. Vegas is fun. The surrounding states are fun. Everything about it, I love.
And how do you feel you match up with Dustin on Saturday? Obviously, the UFC, the first fight of the main card. It means they've seen something in both of you guys that they really like. They seem to be very careful at who they put where. I think Clay Guida is the final fight of the prelims, which is of course no shock because he's always, even though this is not a pay-per-view,
action.
It's action. But this is stacked like a pay-per-view card. This is one of the best non-pay-per-view cards I've ever seen in my life. Isn't it crazy? I mean, Bobby Green against Jalen Turner now is the co-main. Yeah. So what do you expect out of Dustin, and what do you think he's going to try to do to stop you?
Yeah, I think he's going to be a tough guy. I think he presents a lot of problems. I think he's going to try to get me to the floor, maybe put me on my back, look for his offense. But I think I'm a problem for anybody, really. I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to come forward. I'm going to fight him as hard as I can in every position, not give an inch, and, be a little more tactical in my approach in areas I need to.
Now, I was going to ask you, what was it like growing up in Hawaii, and then when did you move to Vegas? You might have said that before. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Growing up in Hawaii, it's kind of funny. Like, you would never think I would be a fighter. If you see me growing up, I was always the kid, like playing around, laughing, joking my way out of any confrontation. Like, I was so scared of every fight. I just found a way like to avoid it at all costs. And I think I moved to Vegas in like 2016, shortly after I started training.
So wait, let me ask you, you were scared of these because we're all scared of confrontations. How do you make the jump into now I'm going to do this full time? Like, what in your mind changes where you're like, I'm no longer scared of this, or I'm scared of this, but I want to do it?
I think like, so after I graduated college and finished like my athletic career at the time, I was wrestling in college, and I was just living life, and I was not happy in anything I was doing. Dan luckily invited me to the gym. I started training, And like instantly I knew like this is my passion, this is my love from the first day I was there. And I felt like wrestling went so quick, and I didn't want to give this up as soon as that went. So I just wanted to cling on to this as long as I could.
Now you're saying that you weren't known as a fighter like in high school or anything like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, your old classmates must know, what you become, this wrecking machine. So what are they shocked? Are they like, what? That's the same old Puna from history class? Seriously, what is their response to this?
A lot of them think it's hilarious. Like I think it's funny too. But like I went home recently, and a buddy of mine, well, he was kind of mean in high school, to be honest. But I'll say he's a buddy of mine now. Yeah. I seen him at a fighting event, and he was like, I'm so happy to see that like you're still like the happy, playful kid, or like the goofy. He said goofy, actually. Yeah. I'm still happier the goofy kid that was like the same guy in high school, but you're just doing it on the big stage. Like, it's awesome.
Well, when you grow up in Hawaii, because everybody has this impression of Hawaii that it's this tourist place and it's all beaches and paradise. But I've heard that there's another side to Hawaii too that's not as pleasant. Did you grow up in a really nice area, or is it not nice?
Yeah, I say it's a pretty nice area. I grew up on like the North Shore of Oahu, and it's pretty much known for their beaches, surfing, and I sucked at surfing. I still don't even know how to surf. Like, so like that was out of my like options anyway. So
that would be great though if Jimmy asked you that question and you said, shut up, Howley.
What's it?
Like, what?
What's a Howie?
A Howley. You don't know what that is?
No.
Man, you're not a local. Me and Puna were laughing at your ass. If we saw you down at the surf, listen, Puna, Puna.
I love it.
Let's say you see Jimmy show up with like the things on the floaties. He gets nervous. He's afraid of the water. And he has like a boogie board, not a real surfboard. Well, you and the guys kind of like, even though it's not your thing, would you be like, oh, Howley, right?
Maybe if it was taking the attention away from me getting picked on, I would do it. But
what does Howley mean?
Howley's like a good-looking guy, right?
You could say that if it makes you feel better.
What does it mean though? It's derogatory.
I mean, yeah, kind of a derogatory term for a white guy, but it could be used for like, anything kind of gross. Like you see somebody just like eat a candy bar, you throw it on the ground, like freaking Howleys throwing their rubbish on the ground.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Hey, did you have to deal with tourists all the time living where you lived, or were you away from them?
Yeah, I was pretty far away. I was in the countryside, they call it. A lot of the tourists go to like Waikiki area, whatnot. If you came to the North Shore, like it was pretty rare, I'd say.
Did you have any volcanic activity where you were?
I wish. No, I wish though. I think that would be super cool, but unfortunately, no, I haven't.
How'd you find out about mixed martial arts? Like over there, was like BJ Penn very popular there?
100%. He was like, it's kind of in the culture, honestly. Like I grew up watching fights. I remember watching your season of The Ultimate Fighter. Like I grew up watching that. It was super cool to me, and it's super cool to be talking to you now. Like full circle.
Oh man, how old are you now? You're 31.
Just turned 31, but I'm a young 31. If I can.
Oh, that's young.
A little bit of information. I didn't even get like I didn't get pubes or armpit hair until I was like a senior in college. So I think I'm a late bloomer.
Jimmy,
wow.
You didn't get the pubes.
I still haven't gotten them.
Oh, really? Lucky.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. I'm boyish.
I don't think Jimmy was ever able to grow a beard, ever. Right, Jimmy?
Not a good one. Like, I can grow a shit beard, but not like a real full, like, like the type of a man's beard. Yeah. Hey, by the way, if you wrestled in high school, right? Like, you said you would joke your way out of fights. I imagine people didn't really fuck with you, though, if they all knew you were a wrestler.
Not really, because I kind of sucked. Like, when I first started, I only started wrestling because I didn't make the basketball team. And in my high school, if you wanted to play football, you had to play one or two sports outside of it. But yeah, I didn't make the basketball teams. I was like, crap, I guess I got to wrestle. and I sucked my first year, but just got better and better somehow.
You had to play 2 other sports to play football. What was the thinking behind that?
Just keep you in shape, keep you athletic.
Oh,
I
okay. So you're
guess.
not just that makes perfect sense. So you're not just waiting for football season to start and getting fat. Do you watch a lot of tape on other guys? Do you watch all their old fights, or do you allow coaches to do that? How do you handle tape?
More so, I let the coaches do that, but like I watch a little bit just to kind of see what I need to see. I feel like, but I don't study too much of them. I like to focus on myself and my game.
Hey, Puna, what do you like to do when you're not training, like on a day off? No active rest either. No, I like to do a light jog. I don't want to hear about that. I want to hear what kind of books you're reading. I want to hear what you're watching on Netflix. I want to hear that kind of stuff.
Sure. As far as books, I barely know how to read.
I'm with you, Puna.
I'm an audiobook guy.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. People,
Not at all.
I love when people, it kind of irks me though when people go, yeah, I don't mind when they're like, yo, I heard this audiobook. But when they're like, yo, I read 5 books. Meanwhile, they're listening to it. Okay, dude, really? I watched this many movies, the same shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, I'm with you though. I like the audio.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been listening to this book called, I think it's like The Power of We, or like something about we just together. It's from Duncan Trussell. He's a comedian, but it's like psychology and things like that. Him and Raghu Marcus, I think. But besides that, I do a lot of I have this electric skateboard, and I just take my 3 dogs skating pretty much all day.
Wait, what do you mean an electric skateboard? Is that like a hoverboard?
No, it goes by remote, and it's nice. It's the only way I can keep up with them.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I can picture you on a little electric skateboard.
Yeah, me too. I never liked skateboards. I was never good at them. My balance was shit. So yeah, I never liked a good skateboard. So if anything, they have those things now. It's just one wheel. Have you seen? I don't know how they work. Where you just stand on the wheel and it just takes. I don't know how guys steer or.
Yeah,
stop.
that looks impossible to me. I don't know.
Get that unicycle shit.
Yeah.
You know what didn't take off? What everybody thought was going to take off was that Paul Bart thing. The fucking.
Oh no way!
Those segways.
That looks like that looks just like that's kind of like giving up. Like I got a new
100%.
You know what I mean?
I would never be caught dead on one of those. No way.
No way you could even make put rims on it or make it look cool. It looks like fun though.
Until you fall, probably.
Probably good for fat people.
Yeah.
And living in Vegas, which is a town that's really, is it hard for you to stay off the strip? Or I don't do as well in Vegas if I'm there a long time. How hard is it to not get distracted by just the fact that there's a million things that distract you?
I mean, shoot, it's I think it's sink or swim. It's gonna weed you out eventually, or you're gonna find a way to survive. The strip's pretty expensive, so I try to stay away from it, and it's hella crowded. I hate traffic. I hate not being able to walk freely. And I live kind of far away. I live 30 minutes away, kind of in the mountains. Mountain man.
Oh, can you see the strip from where you are?
Yeah, great view of the whole strip.
Oh, okay, but it's not. You'd have to make an effort to get there.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, I want to hear about pickleball. You do pickleball?
Yeah, admittedly, I haven't played in I haven't played this whole camp, to be honest.
But you have played. Tell me.
Yeah.
Listen, you can't get a worse name. If they called it something differently, it's I love playing cornhole, but it sounds dirty, like Jimmy would be playing.
Yeah.
But it's not an innocent game. You play with the bags and you put in all. But cornhole sounds really dirty. But pickleball just sounds really.
Yeah.
It just sounds really weak, but it's not, is it?
Yeah.
Fun. It's like tennis.
It's fun. No, it's super fun. I think it's one of the funnest sports I've ever played, and it's also kind of ego deflating because I've been smoked by grannies and old ladies on the courts before.
How do they do that though? Even though I have a new knee, my knees aren't good enough to do that shit. I can do jiu-jitsu, but I'm not that lateral. I'm not chasing after any balls.
No, it's crazy. They don't even move. They just kind of stand in line, and the reactions are insane. They just they're in there.
You like it because it's something. Isn't it weird? It just takes your mind off everything, right? You probably don't think about fighting or anything else when you're doing that.
Totally. And it's surprisingly a good workout. Like your lateral movement, super good.
You ever feel bad though? Like when you beat the shit out of like an old couple and you just
Nope.
spike it all at them.
Nope.
How's your reflexes here, Granny?
I play pickleball the same way I fight, as hard as I can. Just
We step on the court with you, it's that bad. I'm with you. Pickleball, Jimmy.
Well, Punahele, look, good luck on Saturday. It's a great fight. And, I'm really happy for you that they put you on this card.
Thank you,
Yeah, and this is, again, and Beneil is such a dangerous guy, and him against Tsarukyan's a great.
Totally.
So there's going to be a lot of people watching this, as you know.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's an honor. I'm really happy, like you guys said earlier, to be opening up the main card. I did it one time in Abu Dhabi, and I felt like it was such an honor, and I blew that up. And hopefully I can get the same kind of results.
Yeah, it does mean something. I mean, they don't do that by accident. I mean, they put you in a place and they feel you belong there, and that means that they have a lot of faith that you're going to give them a good fight. So have a great fight on Saturday, man. And
not to bring it up,
yes,
but Jimmy often brings up about opening up a card.
Sure.
Back to UFC 109, I opened the card knocking out Frank Trigg. Jimmy, I don't want to bring that up again.
Well, that's why I mentioned it.
Just fucking unconscious.
You knocked him out.
I can have some drool. Puna, nice to meet you, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's an honor to finally meet you.
And we're going to have you back again, man. All our best, dude.
Yeah, good
Yes,
talking
sir.
to you, man.
Thank you so much.
Have a great fight.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Jimmy, you always embarrass me bringing that up.
I can't help it. I want to mention the Frank Trigg thing, and I just figure I know I'm going to have to really pull teeth to get it out of you.
Yeah, Jimmy. I seen his lights go out.
Was that a nice feeling?
Oh, Jimmy. Listen, how are you, buddy? I miss you.
I miss you too. I'm a little tired. I didn't sleep well last night, so today's my first day back to radio. So I'm pooped. I need a nap.
Suckered. Again, we have also the next podcast. We have another podcast before the weekend, so we'll talk more into detail about all these fights. We got Beneil coming soon.
Yes,
soon. This weekend, I was going to be in New Jersey because one of my fighters, Lauren, she was going to be fighting and Ring of Combat, which is Lou Neglia's show, which is this Friday in AC, Tropicana. But now I'm not because the fight is called off. So I'm not happy that the fight's called off because of her, but I am happy that I don't got to go to AC because I got my wife and my kids doing a jiu-jitsu tournament in Jersey.
Yeah.
So that's good, Jimmy, And my youngest never competed before. She's jumping in.
Oh, first time.
Good. Yeah. She was adamant about doing it. And I'm like, all right, she's only 10. It's cute.
How long are those matches?
Hers is it's only like 3 minutes,
How about your wife's or the ones how long?
I'm pretty sure she might be 5 minutes or something. I'm not sure.
The total?
Yeah, I gotta look. I gotta look with my wife because she's gonna be in the Masters. I gotta see. I'm gonna call the guy today. I'm gonna look again.
I would get so tired. It's crazy how tiring it is.
Isn't it funny? But I got guys now, like these some of the guys are older. They're on my age, but they're just starting. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And their white belts at 50, and they weren't able to make it through in the beginning. Nowhere near doing a 5-minute roll or anything like that. But now they're able to.
Yeah.
So I'm like, listen, how often do you see a 5-minute street fight? When? Never. So I mean, listen. I tell them you got this much time until the fucking backup gets you. You know what I mean? The 911 call's going through. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not about just dominating somebody. It's about just making it through that 5, surviving. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. And these guys are getting exhausted, and they could be getting just as exhausted doing something that's not going to make them a more dangerous human being.
That's right. Yeah.
I get a little redundant with that, Jimmy, but
no, you're right though. You're right. I was I trained today. I was very, very tuckered out, and he makes me do this thing where like he won't let me like for especially like the last 10 or 15 minutes.
Who's he?
Oh, Mike, who's training me, Professor Mike. He'll make me go through the whole. He won't let me stop because even if you're doing a slow pace, you have to keep moving even if it's slow. Because he goes, in a street fight, you can't stop. Like if you're tired, you have to train yourself to just keep making movements. So he makes me do it. It's I hate it though. I really do.
It's you hate it, but when you're done, you shower, you leave, you feel like you feel good.
I shower when I get home. I don't shower there. I feel gross. I should shower there, but I have to get back and do this.
Yeah, well, make sure you shower when you get home. Don't be a dirty little boy.
No, I shower, wash my gi.
Yeah, wash your ass. You don't want you want to be clean, Jimmy.
Yes.
I shower so much, I wash so much that my hands are starting to get chapped. This is very entertaining.
No, a little OCD, Matt?
No. I just use the bathroom a lot. So I'm so clean.
Oh, sure.
I must shower. Master Henzo told me Master Henzo taught me a lot about life. And one of the things he told me early on, he said he'd always shower if he took a shit. And I go, Henzo, that's annoying. No, he goes, man, if you take a shit, how do you clean your ass? I go, what? I go, what do you mean? They go, you don't use the water? And this is early back when his English wasn't the best. I go, well, if there's a sink there, I'll wet something, but he goes, man, let me ask you something. If you touched a piece of shit with your hand, would you clean it with a piece of paper? I go, well, no. He goes, yeah, what's the thing? You want a dirty ass? So ever since he said that,
yeah,
it was in my head. And I'm like, I have to and I do have a clean ass.
Yeah, I do too. Mine is immaculate, ready for fingers, but I can't always get to a shower.
Excuse me. Jimmy, I can't wait till December 22nd for Rebel Moon to come out. Because that's the new Zack Snyder film that's going to be on.
I'm surprised you're not looking forward to December 16th.
Oh, Jimmy, can we say what we're doing?
Well, we're going to be watching TV together.
Yes, we are. They must like the way we do it.
I mean, they ask us every 6 months. So I guess that's good, right?
I guess, is that not good every 6 months?
I mean, I wouldn't say they're not exactly knocking the doors down. I would say.
Well, you know what it was? We do a watch party for the people at home. What we do is we do a watch party. So wait, is that the Tony Ferguson card versus Patty Pittman?
Let me see.
Yes. Oh, we're gonna watch that together. They're gonna film it. You know what's funny?
Edwards Covington. Yeah. Wow.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's gonna be fun.
Ian Gary, Vicente Luque is the opening fight.
Can I say something that's maybe a little TMI, but I don't want you to get
sure.
Now listen, okay. I'm very clean, but I might have to. We're gonna eat at your place. My stomach's been getting worse. I might have to use your bathroom. I will not make it messy. I will clean myself. I will clean up. But now you don't live alone now, so I feel a little guilty. But if it was just you, I'd blow up your bathroom and be like, I'd laugh at it, But now you're not alone, so I feel a little bad. Well,
the bathrooms are all broken, but luckily we have a bucket that you can take out onto the terrace and use a bucket.
Well, I plan on going on that terrace.
She'll go with you, I'm sure. Watch the two of you out there.
I like it. A lot.
Yeah, it's nice. Hopefully it won't be raining.
They
I don't know why I said that.
They showed a commercial of at MSG of me doing the about the HSS building. Why are you making a face?
I was yawning. I'm very tired.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was.
Oh no, I'm listening.
So anyway, they did they showed. I told you I went to the HSS building, the hospital special surgeries. Is that right?
Yep.
For my knee, and I interviewed the doctor that did my knee.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
They showed the commercial at MSG. So I'm trying to get them to send it to me. And every time.
Oh, very nice.
I'm having a hard time getting it, though.
Where are they going to show it?
Well, they showed it at MSG, but I'm sure they're going to show this. I believe it's going to be I don't know where it's going to be. I know, I'm only kidding. I believe it's going to be on UFC Fight Pass, but I think it might be on ESPN. I'm going to find out.
Sure.
And when I find out, here's the commercial. Want to watch it with me?
Sure.
Oh, no. You know what? I'll watch it after, but it already looks exciting.
Now, Matt.
Yeah, Beneil. What's up, Jimmy? Sorry.
Is he in the waiting room? No, he's not. I want to say the opening fight, Matt, on the early prelims is our pal Randy Brown against Muslim Salikov. This card, Dustin Jacoby, Alonzo Menefield. He just hopped into the waiting room. Okay. And by the way, Giga Chikadze against Josh Emmett is the main fight of the prelim card. What a fucking Cody is fighting Brian Kelleher.
Hey, Emmett. Let's get Beneil Dariush in.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say now.
Sorry. Yeah, Beneil.
Hey, Beneil.
Yeah.
What's up, gentlemen? How are you?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Beneil? Good to see you, bro.
Good to see you as well.
Dude, Beneil, you don't even give an S. I clean it up, but Beneil's very clear.
Yes, nice.
I like that. Thank you for cleaning it up.
I'm not going to be my regular potty mouth with you, Beneil. But seriously, I don't even think, I just think you say, give me whoever on this date, because you're not afraid of fighting a guy who's like Arman
Tsarukyan, yeah.
Tsarukyan. I mean, because he's not as well known as some of the other guys you've beaten, but he's extremely dangerous. Tell me your thought process on when they offer you a fight.
Well, last fight didn't go so well. I get done with it, and I just say I'm going to do better next time. So I call my manager and I say, hey, who's available? And we go through the list. This is the guy who's available. And I say, all right, let's do this fight.
After a fight like against Oliveira, because everybody knows what a good fighter you are, and everybody has one of those. What is your thought process like after that, or like what are you going through right after that happens?
It's tough. Losing for me is really tough. It's something I take. It's just something I struggle with, right? So I spend a lot of time working through it. There's prayer, there's just meditation, and just figuring it out. And I think that's normal for everybody. Everybody has to struggle through losses. We can't just walk through them like they're nothing. So that's what I did. I did the struggling part. I did all the difficulties that I need to take care of with the loss, and then I said, okay, I'm ready to fight. And so now we're here.
Kind of important. I'm sorry, Jimmy.
Sure.
To struggle with the losses. If it was too nonchalant, I don't think you'd have the success you'd have. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely. I'm very obsessive. So some people are like, I don't watch my losses. I watched that fight probably 10 times the night I lost. And just kind of seeing what's going on and how I can make things better. And it's a tricky one because I don't feel like I did anything well that day. So it's one of those things where I need to kind of come out and make sure I just, how fighters say they don't show up. This is one of those first times where I felt like I just didn't show up. I didn't perform well. And it was very disappointing because it was at the most important time, you could say.
That's why sometimes, I'm sorry, Jimmy.
That's good. Yeah, good.
Like, I know as a fighter, what would stress me out leading up to a fight, like sometimes after a hard night of sparring, sometimes it just feels like a rough night of sparring, like the timing's off that much. And you've had nights of sparring like that leading up to a fight. And you're like, well, what if this happens the night of the fight? Like that. So it's like, sometimes it's like, in other words, it might have just been like an off night. You don't have to just reinvent your whole self. I mean, am I explaining that the correct way?
Yeah, I agree with that. You don't want to reinvent yourself, but at the same time, you also want to take everything into consideration and see how you could just dig deeper and make everything better. So that's what I did. I went back and looked at what I could make better, and I tried to make that better.
Did you feel it that night walking into the cage? Sometimes guys will just feel like this. I'm just not where I need to be right now. Or how did you feel walking in and when the fight started?
I'm not sure. I don't really remember. My coaches definitely felt like I was off, but I didn't feel that way when I was walking in. I just felt like it's, let's get this fight going and get this over with.
It's always weird when you overanalyze sometimes, because there's times I have a fight and I'm like, now if that fight didn't go right, I felt a little off in the locker room. But there's times in the locker room where I'm like, do I really, I don't know, maybe I don't feel great, and then I'll go out and have a phenomenal night. So I don't know. Sometimes it's so important to examine what went down. But there is also, I think, some people just like, this went wrong. Let me fire the whole staff and start from scratch. So it's a fine line there,
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not a big whole fire the whole staff and restart, because I think we've done so well so far. It's just, keep working the details out.
Yeah. And how do you feel about Tsarukyan? Because like Matt said, obviously, he had a loss to, I think Gamrot was his last loss, if I'm correct. My memories go. Yeah, Matisse Gamrot. And he's beaten some really, really good fighters. And he has looked very, very dangerous. What are you expecting out of him?
He's really good and he's really young. So, how young fighters, they grow fast and they get better. It's hard to look at that Gamrot fight and be like, okay, I'm going to fight the same guy. I'm preparing for a better version of that. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. And man, he in my opinion is similar to Gamrot. They're going to be the future of the division, right? So I'm just ready for what I need to do this Saturday.
And what do you think you need to do? I know you want a shot at the title. I know you want it. What do you think you need to do after a little setback? I mean, you're still at the top of the division. What do you think you need to do to get that?
I think I need to win this fight. That's for sure. And then maybe get a big name, one of the bigger names. Easier said than done, but maybe get one of the bigger names.
And you're feeling good about this Saturday.
Yeah, I feel great. Looking forward to it. The one thing I added was I started working with a guy named Sam Calavita from the training lab. My whole career, I've kind of just ate whatever and kind of figured out the nutrition stuff on my own. I wasn't really big into supplements. I was like, I drink plenty of milk, I'll be fine. That was kind of the way I looked at it. But that I just figured, let's see what he can offer. And he's someone I've known for a long time. He lives very close to me, and I know he's a super smart guy. So started working with him, and I have to say, I wish I had done it sooner. He's really good.
What is it you were doing? What's something that he's showing you that you're like, oh God, I was doing that really wrong?
So, for example, I eat out a lot, and my wife likes to eat out a lot too, because it's less work for her and stuff like that. But one thing he explains to me, like, if you eat out a lot, the food actually is less nutritious because of the way it's prepared. Even if you go to a place where you would consider more healthy, it's still the nutrition aspect of it is less valuable. And then supplements, I had no clue what I was doing, so I just wouldn't do it. And I was like, well, if I don't know what I'm doing, I'm not going to do anything. Plus USADA,
Yeah.
So that was another thing. And also understanding how to really peak well. I would say I was kind of just winging it, training as hard as I can, and then when the fight comes, go in. He's really good at dialing you in for peaking.
So you don't have your best week the week before the fight or 2 weeks before the fight.
Yeah. I mean, I never even thought about it before, but yeah, because I as a jiu-jitsu competitor, there's no such thing as like peaking. You were competing year round, and at least now it might be different. But back in the day, I competed 12 to 15 times a year in terms of tournaments. So there's no getting out of shape. You stay in shape year round, and you compete. So this is one thing that he was really particular about is how to peak properly.
Is there anything you were eating that he told you that's terrible and you thought it was great?
Man, he's actually not a big fan of milk, which crushes my heart. I love milk. I drink a lot of
dairy.
No, just milk. He says one. He says it's really high in calories and how it's prepared. And I explained to him I always get the best milk. I get the raw milk. Blah blah blah. I try to give him the whole spiel about how good it is for you, and he's like, no. And then it's really high in calories, right? So in camp, you drink a glass of milk, you just missed out on like 300-400 calories of food. So that's a lot of food when you think about it. I drink a lot of milk, by the way, so that's why. So I was missing out on a lot of nutritious food that I could have been eating. So that was the one thing that was really tough. But besides that, also coffee. He's not a big fan of coffee.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, you got to take it easy on coffee. And I love coffee. I'm a coffee nerd. I like study how they process the beans, which beans is the way I like it. And, so I roast at home, but I have a crappy roaster. I've thought about upping my game, but it's like this. If you want to up your coffee game, you can roast for a couple of $100 machine. But then if you want to go to the next level, it's like $4,000 to $5,000 machine. There's no in between.
It's an expensive hobby.
Yeah, so it's an expensive hobby, and I said, all right, we'll stick with where we are. But I really love coffee, and he's been not about it.
I can't believe milk doesn't mess you. Like that's what I do if I drink milk. It clogs me up and it makes me feel awful. Nothing, huh?
No, I drink a lot of raw milk. I don't drink regular milk. I still eat a lot of yogurt. He's good with yogurt, but raw milk. Let's just say I was going through a gallon a week, which is quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a lot of milk. You're lucky that you can drink it without a problem. What is raw milk compared to just like regular pasteurized?
So the way they pasteurize it, especially the ultra pasteurized stuff, what it does, it kills the prebiotics and the enzymes that helps you actually digest the milk and allows your gut to have better health. So you know how you just mentioned the whatever.
Yeah.
That's because your body's struggling to digest it properly, and it doesn't have the enzymes that it used to, or the prebiotics necessary for the probiotics to live. Things like that. So that's why I like raw milk and everything. I'm big on dairy. I grew up on a farm, so that was a tough one. But I still get to have yogurt and things like that. So it's not too bad. And then once the camp's over, it's gonna be a gallon a week. Maybe
you're gonna go right back to it
for a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Did you ever drink it? Like, so you grew up on a farm? Would you milk cows?
Yeah. We milk cows, and like milk cow. If you milk a cow and you want to drink the milk, you have like a very short period, so you can drink it right away. Or what you could do is you could heat it up, which is pasteurizing it slightly, and then put it in the fridge. Then it'll last you like a little bit longer, but. If you're gonna drink it right from the cow, you got to do it immediately. I would recommend.
Well, Beneil, let me just tell you, if Jimmy had a farm, all he would do is milk the cows. Beneil, I can't wait to watch you fight, man. Jimmy, I'm sorry. You notice he didn't ask if you had chickens or anything. This little freak. Do you have a chicken? By the way, I heard your own eggs is a great thing.
Not in California. It's tough, man. I don't have a big backyard. If I had a big backyard, I would have chickens. But yeah, chickens are easy. They're actually pretty easy. You just have to make sure they don't get sick. They eat, they sleep, and they don't do much.
Are they friendly chickens? They always seem like they peck at you.
Friendly? I mean, they're pretty dumb. So sometimes they're friendly. It's weird. There are chickens that will be friendly, but overall, they just move around and just eat and fight with each other.
Oh, okay. It's a dumb bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Well, look, Beneil, obviously, congrats on you're main eventing in an amazing card. I mean, we talked before about this. This is like a pay-per-view card. How many good fights are on this? I mean, Jalen Turner and Bobby Green as a co-main, unbelievable.
Yeah. So that's one thing that really stood out to me when I saw the card. And the messages I was getting about the card, I reached out to Hunter and I was like, "Hey man, thank you for putting me on the like making me the main event of this card. I thought it was a privilege. You know, I know if a lot of people will be like, oh, you've been in the UFC for so long, you deserve it, blah, 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 blah. I'm of the mindset that we don't deserve anything. So always be thankful for what you have.
Yeah, and it's again, it shows how they feel about you because I mean, Sean Brady and Gastelum is on this. Figueiredo's up to fight Rob Font. I mean, this is just an incredible card.
Yeah, everyone before me could headline a card. They could, and it's without a doubt. So that's why I consider it a privilege.
Well, Beneil,
that's why the humble warrior, Beneil.
I appreciate it.
This Saturday, December the 2nd. It is this Saturday, right? Wait.
That is correct.
I am correct. Okay, I'm losing I don't know what day it is. 4 o'clock is the prelims, and then the main card starts at 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus, which is perfect, nice and early. Beneil, thank you as always. We'll have you again, of course. You're regular on the show. And always good talking to you.
Yeah, I love talking to you guys too. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Have a great fight.
Take care, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Matt, that's amazing to me. Somebody who likes drinking milk. I hate milk. And the fact that it makes my mouth dry. Ugh.
You want to milk a cow, Jimmy?
I do not. I'd pet a cow. They're very nice. They just sit there and let you pet them. But I don't want to reach under it and fucking grab its stinky udders. Ugh. Fucking awful.
I don't belong on a farm. I don't belong on a farm. I'm just making that
okay. That's the end of the statement. I didn't realize it was a
show. That's how we end the show.
Yeah.
Listen,
right.
what else we got, Jimmy?
That's it, Matt. I think you're right. I mean, that should be the end of the show. Matt does not belong on a farm, and we'll be back on Wednesday.
We'll be back in a couple of days. I had a blast. Is there anything you want to promote?
Wednesday night, Fat Black Pussycat. The first 3 Wednesdays of December, I'll be running my hour, and I'm back on tour in February for real. So, good stuff.
That's great. Hey, I'll be talking to you in a couple of days. I almost had too much fun. This was a blast.
Yeah. Thank you to Punahele and thank you to Beneil. That's how tired I am, by the way.
Tired.
What's that?
I heard that
by the way, Punahele. Did I say Punahele? Hey, Punahele. I'm so tired. I don't even know if I said this right. If I said his name wrong, I apologize.
He's a nice kid. I like him.
Punahele, yeah.
I heard.
Yes.
And by the way, I just watched the 1980, whatever it was, version of Dune. I never watched it before. So I made it through it. And it's pretty bad, but it wasn't great. But anyway, the new Dune Part 2, whatever. I found out that they moved it back up, I heard, to March. So I'm excited about that. Sorry, Jimmy. I just could have waited till Wednesday.
Or till April.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, everybody.
See you.